Hi there, it's Jenny from Ads Uncorked. All right, so I'm going to take you behind the scenes on an ad campaign check-in. I'm really excited to show this to you. This is for a client of mine who went ahead and purchased my Facebook ads course. Now, for a limited time, we are doing free campaign check-ins from yours truly after your ads go live, just so we can make sure that everything is running as it should. So come on in. I'm going to break this down into bite-sized pieces for you. This very first thing I'm going to show you is the stats that are the most important to check in on when you have your ads going live. Now, this client has had ads live, I believe, for just under 2 days, so there is not a whole lot of data in here yet, but even within a couple days, there's absolutely data that we can glean and that we should be keeping tabs on. So the thing that we're going to focus on here today are what are the stats that we should be focusing in on and how do we find them? So there are many things that I keep tabs on for my clients, but the first thing is heading on over here, click on this to drop it down and click on performance and clicks. Now, performance and clicks, there's a smattering of data here. Basically, how many people you've reached, how often they're seeing your ad. Even if you're up to a 3 or 4 times frequency, that's okay. Don't panic. That's not a problem. But if you, by chance, were reaching people 12 times, we'd have a different conversation. You can see we've only spent $86 so far. And the biggest thing that I want you to note is the link click-through rate. This is different than click-through rate. This is the rate at which people are clicking through and making it to your website. We want to shoot for a bare minimum of 1%. Now, my client here is sitting at a 3.6. Perfect. That means that the graphic is resonating, the image is resonating, the verbiage in the ad is resonating. That is wonderful. All right, the next thing that I'm going to show you here is if we click on within the campaign level, if we click in, we are now at the ad set level. So at our ad set level, you can see that we have a few different audiences that are running here. What we see here is we have a lookalike audience to Instagram engagers. We also have just a test audience. We created an interest-based audience. You can see that we are feeding out ads to both. But what's interesting is, taking a look at this, oftentimes my clients will say like, hey, I'm seeing all this data here, but really I want to know how many people are initiating checkout, how many people are adding to cart, or maybe how many people are opting into my freebie or making a purchase. Oftentimes when you're in here, it's not going to show you that data that really makes sense to you at the end of the day, the data that you really want to know from your campaign. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is click on Customize Columns. This is huge. Customize Columns is where you can tell Facebook, these are the things that are most important, and I want to see these every time I come into Ads Manager. So here we are. For this client in particular, she will want to know how many people initiated checkout. She will want to know how many people added to cart, and she will also want to know how many people made a purchase. And it is all here. Oh, and return on ad spend, also a big one, right? She wants to know how many times back she made her money. So here we are looking at the columns. These are all of the different columns that they will tell you. If there's any of these that you don't really care about, you don't really want to see, you can click X and they won't show up anymore. But the ones that I just added are here at the bottom. You can see that it'll show us a couple times over. This is a long story, convo for another time, but sometimes the data will be pulled right from the pixels. Sometimes it'll be pulled from the website. So I'm gonna click out. I'm just gonna have it show one time. Again, we can talk about this a whole other time, but I'm just gonna have one of each right now so that I don't have 3 versions of purchases and 3 versions of add to cart and whatnot. I'm just gonna call this reporting. Click apply. And check this out. Next time I come in, I can go ahead and click on reporting, and that data is going to be sitting here ready for me. My ads to cart, purchases, my return on ad spend, it'll all be here again under the columns and reporting. One thing that I will share with you here is taking a look. This client has not had any purchases yet. They've not had any initiated checkouts. They've had one person add to cart. That's okay. We're in the very early days. Do keep in mind that delayed attribution is a really big hot topic for Facebook ads right now. That means that someone might take action, but Facebook may not report it for 2-3 days. Frustrating, yes, but make sure you're keeping tabs on the back end of your website because this information will be available to you at some point within the next couple days. And in the meantime, you can check in on your site, see if people are using that coupon code, see if people are purchasing. I'm not overly concerned at all that they've only had one add to cart. Again, this has only been live, I think, for not even 2 days, and I'm sure that over time data will start coming in here and we'll be able to make some more informed decisions.